Hey, what is going on everyone? I'm just coming off the flu, so I apologize in advance if my voice dies later in this video. We're really gonna see how this goes, but as Sea of Thieves just came out, you're hopefully going to be sailing the 7 seas with some of your best friends. However, you might find yourself sailing alone sometimes, and this is the most challenging way to play the game. After countless hours in the closed alpha and beta sailing alone, I have compiled my list of tips to help you on your solo journey. Now, let's get into the video. Before you even begin taking voyages, there are some steps you should definitely take to make sure you can survive out on the waters. Make sure you're collecting bananas, cannonballs, and wooden planks and depositing them into your ship's barrels before setting sail. The worst case scenario is where you're out on a long journey and you run out of materials. You can't fight other ships without cannonballs, you can't heal yourself without bananas, and you can't fix your ship without wooden planks. So always stock up, and these barrels are typically found around the islands on the map and can even be found floating in the open water, so keep an eye out when you're out sailing around. After you have stocked up on these supplies, it really shouldn't take too long, but make sure you are on your way to one of the 3 trading companies. You could realistically pick up voyages from all of them, but at least make sure you go to one and stock up on voyages. An efficient strategy that I'm going to talk about in a future video involves picking up voyages from all 3 different ones in the proper order to complete them, but I'll get into that in a future date. I'll be showing you voyages from the gold hoarders for this one. If you're new, buy all of the free voyages. If not, make sure you at least stock up on 3. The worst case scenario, again, is getting stuck away from an outpost without any voyages to complete and you're out of material. So a big thing is the pre-journey prep, making sure you are loaded up and ready to go. When plotting a journey, take advantage of the map marker tool and circle all the islands and places you need to visit. This is going to help you make sure you're taking the fastest route possible to complete a mission. If you want, you can also circle nearby outposts for quick reference as to the outpost locations. If you see a giant galleon ship at one of the islands you need to go to, try your best to refocus on a different island from the mission before heading to that one. If you decide to take on that galleon, make sure you have cached any loot at the nearest outpost beforehand. You don't want to risk taking on 4 other pirates and getting outmanned, outgunned, and you lose all of your treasure. When sailing away solo, you have a lot of responsibilities. You have to steer the ship, check the map, look out for enemies, raise and lower the sails, and adjust the sail angles all by yourself. Let's not even think about what happens when you have to repair your ship on top of all of that. Any of you guys who have experienced it know that it's a nightmare. A huge tip that's been a lifesaver for me is the fact that you do not have to run to the middle deck to check the map on these sloop ships. All you have to do on the sloop is look over the edge behind the anchor. You're going to have a beautiful view of the map, and this can let you easily check if you are on the right course to your destination. Really make sure you take advantage of this, guys. If you don't get anything out of this video besides this one point, I will be very content, because this is the key to sailing solo. You have to be able to check the map, and this lets you do it so efficiently. Once I figured this out in the beta, I loved solo sailing so much more. As for adjusting the sail angles, always make sure you're updating your sails to go with the wind. I know this sounds like common sense, but I see a lot of noob ships out there not doing this. Just turn the sail until the wind catches. Sometimes you're going to be going against the wind, so in that case, turn the sails all the way to the right or left. There's not much you can do when you're going directly against the wind, but when steering, make use of that trusty compass for direction, but try not to overturn the ship. Here's another mistake I see solos making. It can be easy to look at the map and see that you need to go right, and you turn the wheel right and you leave it right. Once the ship gets to where it's headed in the right way, you need to adjust it to where it's going straight. In order to do this, make sure the golden handle is aligned to the middle when your ship is heading right where you want to go. This is going to keep you going directly in front and straight, and you'll get to your destination very easy. One last sailing tip is to turn off the lanterns on board when you're on solo. At nighttime, this is going to help you stay hidden from enemy ships. With solo combat, try to avoid galleons, but feel free to go after solo and duo ships. I will make a more detailed guide on solo combat because there's just way too much to go over in this basics video. If you do fight, make sure you know where the ammo crate is and swap out your pistol for the blunderbuss from your ship's gun inventory. The blunderbuss is a great close range weapon. I really prefer it, but if you prefer a pistol or sniper, feel free to use those instead. This is just all my personal preference with the blunderbuss because I find that a lot of times I can one-shot enemy pirates with it, and you just can't get that without a headshot with the other weapons. When approaching an island, make sure you lower that sail to around half mast. This is going to allow you to go in a lot slower on your approach, and that way you can really control where you anchor your ship. Once you get relatively close, you can raise the sail all the way up and then lower the anchor comfortably away from the island so you don't risk a crash. A great technique for emergency stops is to always lower that anchor and crank the wheel to the left or right as quickly as possible. This can save you from running head into a rock or island, and I'll show you an example of this working for me here in the video. If you do happen to run into something, make sure you board up your ship quickly with wooden planks. You can find them below deck, and also a quick way to get yourself on an island is by shooting yourself out of a cannon. I love this feature and use it probably more than I should, so make sure you're looking at your treasure map on where you should be going on the island, aim your cannon there, and boom, you'll quickly find yourself on the island. After completing your mission, you're going to need to hide that treasure so other crews cannot steal it from you. I'm going to show you my favorite hiding spot for sloops. I'm probably going to regret this because now you guys are going to know my secrets. But right behind the barrel as you walk down to the lower deck on the right, you can place chests all the way up against the wall. This hides the chest from the view of someone standing in the doorway, and I've had multiple enemies completely skip over my chest here. I highly recommend this spot to you guys because it's really hard to find unless they walk completely under the lower deck. After finishing a voyage, and this works especially for the starter ones, keep starting new voyages without going to an outpost to cash in your loot. When you only have a couple of treasure chests, the trip back to the outpost isn't quite worth it yet, so start up a new voyage and get yourself some more loot. This is going to allow you to level up quicker, and it's going to save you trips to the outpost, so you're not just continuously going back and forth to the outpost, not making that much progress. Go ahead, stock up on chests, and then cash in. Alright guys, well that has been it from the Rodey Bros in this guide of Sea of Thieves solo sailing tips. I will be back to full health soon, and we will be streaming on Twitch, so make sure you follow that link in the description and go follow us on Twitch. We're going to be streaming a lot of Sea of Thieves and more Fortnite there. So thanks so much for watching this, guys. Thanks again for 50,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Sea of Thieves is finally here. We cannot wait to start doing more videos on this and hope you guys really enjoy it. This has been Cole, and I will see you all in the next video.